First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Blues of San Juan taking on the Detroit Lions. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
On the set.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 4. Another run for Gibbs here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove. Because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Dragon 60.
They go play action. Here's Hooker. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. You talk about this Lions defense. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
Now 2nd and 9. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Here's 3rd and 9. Back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. About 3 yards there to the 27. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that
emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go?
Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
So that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
From the 35, here's second down at 7. Quick throw by Hooker, complete. There he goes, left side. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs him.
On the ready.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Panther 11, Panther 11.
Off play action. Here's Hooker. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now as they line up and kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Second and 9 now from the 21. On play action, they'll throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. A short throw, that's hauled in by Mayer. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. His throw incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Caught by Mayer. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the right side, here's Mayer. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shot.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark him down at the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run. And this long drive is going to continue as they move the chains again. Here's Jacobs. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Blues are an extra point away from evening this one up. So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a 3rd time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now 2nd and 5. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And this will wind up the Lions' 1st down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. The Lions at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. They work now on 2nd and 9. A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
You think about the great receivers in the game, what do they have in common? The ability to create separation in their routes. Whether it's a head fake, a sharp cut, selling a different route, the subtle bump, it's a tough skill to teach. And this is well done here to get open and pick up the 1st down.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback when there's extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
He's got this to Williams, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Come on. Hey! Unlock Lions! Unlock Lions! Ready?
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Let's go now.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Ready?
Now Hooker. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Let's go.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Hooker's going to throw it. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will knot us up at 10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And they're going to be set up beautifully. A heck of a return down inside the 40-yard line.
I'm actually surprised more games aren't tied because the messages in both locker rooms are essentially the same, and it starts with both trying to get a quick start. But one team actually did, but the defensive guys, they can take it right back because this game has been a tug of war all the way through.
On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And this one also slowly developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Carlson able to put this one through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Hooker now off play action. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing. Hooker. pressure comes, and down he goes. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial the running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up going incomplete.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. A 2nd field goal here this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit, because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Straight ahead with Gibbs here to about the 35, 2nd down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Gibbs straight ahead. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage and just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Oh, look at this play call. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Now the gadget play here on 4th down winds up backfiring. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one by the line of scrimmage.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Carlson is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. And they're going to speed things up here. Hooker on 1st down. That is caught by Laporta. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. Down to about the 22 here. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Another run for Gibbs here. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Hooker to throw on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jacorian Bennett has it. Well, time, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Let's go now.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Throwing here is Hooker. That's complete to the Porter. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And his kick is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game.